This lesson was originally recorded in 2020 for my Russian-speaking students and translated with the help of AI. That way, I can make more videos for you. Please support the channel with your likes, comments, and subscriptions. You can find my newest lessons on Patreon. Today, using the example of a sleeping cat, we'll explore different ways to paint fur. And of course, you don't need to paint every single hair. Really, it's not necessary. I'll show you several techniques that help suggest the softness and fluffiness of animal fur. Let's start with the sketch. First, I find the horizon line and begin with the head, paying attention to the angle and the direction of the main line running through the eyes. I start with a loose sketch. The head of our cat is basically shaped like a triangle. The eyes are usually placed along the line that connects the ears. This is common in both humans and many animals. I'll sketch out the basic structure and return to add details to the head later. Next, we have the shoulder. After that, the front leg, then the little chest, and don't forget the white paw, which will just be a little shape here. Then there's a curve, and from that curve, the belly starts to swell upward just a bit. A gentle mound. Think about proportions. From the paws to the head is about one head's length, and after the front legs, there's another head length or so towards the back paws, which may not be visible hidden behind the tail. Now I'll go back and refine the head a bit more. Notice the fur transitions, especially around the nose and cheeks. The fur starts almost immediately after the nose. Our brains are naturally drawn to the face or the eyes, so make sure you pay extra attention to the cat's face. It's the focus of the composition. Take another look and check if your cat's face looks like it's actually resting on the floor. Also, make sure the proportions feel natural. Is the cat too chubby, too skinny? Is the head too big or too small? If anything feels off, ask yourself why. It's a great way to learn to see like an artist. Now let's move on to colour and fur. I'll be using dark brown, like burnt umber, black, and a touch of ochre or reddish brown. I'll talk more about the background colours later. First, I wet just the cat. No need to soak the whole sheet, only the cat's shape. If you want to keep white highlights, reserve your lightest spots, paws, chest, muzzle, maybe even the ears. Wet everywhere else and make sure you have an even, damp surface, but it shouldn't be too dripping wet. I pick up a rich dark brown and start painting from the darkest shadows, under the chin and near the paws. Notice how the paint starts to flow, creating a furry effect all on its own. It's a great idea to practice this on scraps of paper first, to see how your watercolor and your paper interact. If the color runs too much, don't panic. You can always add a bit more darker color or let it blend softly. Some places I'll use a dry brush for extra texture, or deepen the shadows with black. Look out for those distinctive white stripes and soft chest fur. Once you've got a fluffy cat, you can even add a few visible claw tips. Just as little details, but don't overdo it. Next, I use some dry brush strokes to add more texture in the fur's natural direction, on the chest, cheeks, tail, and anywhere else you want a sense of fluff. Just remember not to overload it. I like to let the background work for me too. It can help set off the fluffiness of your cat. I keep the area around the cat light and blend a bit of colour out into the background. For extra detail, I come in with a narrow, stiff, synthetic brush, a size 1 for example, and add little wispy lines. Some highlight tufts on the collar, cheeks, maybe even on the tail. Pay attention to the direction the fur grows. A final touch. If you want, you can play with contrasting dark and light areas, and adjust some colours or edges for even more depth. That's it. Look how many different techniques we explored in just one painting. Wet on wet fur, dry brush for detail, reserving highlights, background blending. Mix and match these tricks in your own paintings. Thanks for painting with me. Keep experimenting, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.